Welcome to the 10th session of the course Strategic Leadership and Management. This is the last session of this course. In the earlier session, we had discussed about strategy, strategic leadership, how to formulate and implement a strategy, types of strategies, etc. The last session, we are discussing about leadership styles, how to become an effective strategic leader, etc. First of all, we can see what is leadership style. Leadership style is a way or pattern of behavior which a leader adopts in managing the affairs of the organization, and he directs or motivates his managers and staff for the achievement of the organizational objectives. So we can say that it's a pattern of behavior through which the particular leader directs or motivate his managers and staff for the achievement of or for the attainment of organizational objectives. The definition shows that leadership styles can be many and varied. Here, the question is, which is the most appropriate leadership style? Here, a straightforward answer to this is always difficult, because leadership styles depends on organizational conditions and business or strategic situations. The most leadership styles are situational. According to Kanwala, leadership styles based on five major characteristics or dimensions. The major characteristics or dimensions of leadership are risk taking, technocracy, organicity, participation, and coercion. First of all, we can see risk taking. What are the characteristics of such type of leader? Willingness to take high risk, high return decisions, etc. Technocracy, that is related to use of planning techniques and decision making by technically qualified persons. Organicity, that is flexibility and adaptability in organizational structuring. Participation, that is team management approach involving managers at different levels. Then coercion, that is authoritarian use, fear and domination by top management. These are the five styles or dimensions based on the leadership. Strategic role of leadership and leadership styles are to a great extent influenced by environmental condition. So that is why we can say that the most of the leadership styles are situational. Already we are familiar with different types of leadership styles like autocratic, democratic, and participative, etc. Apart from that, there are two other styles also, that is transactional and transformational leadership. Transactional leadership is the influence of a leader towards his subordinates using reward and punishment as a form of motivational media. That is, in transactional leadership, the leader motivates his subordinate through reward and punishment. But in the case of transformational leadership style, in which the leader identify the needed change, then create a vision to guide, then change through inspiration and execute the change with commitment of the members of the group. Here, the leader identify the needed change, then preparing a vision, then inspiring his subordinates to execute the change, the commitment of the entire members of this particular group. Then next we can see how to become an effective strategic leader. Everyone wants to achieve their goal. But we look into the organizations, we can see that only some people can achieve their goal and but some others are not able to do. What is the reason for that? Yes, we can see that good working environment and great leadership helps an individual to achieve their goal. So that is why we can say that good working condition and good leadership helps the individuals to become an effective leader. Next, we can see the tips to become an effective strategic leader. The following characteristics makes a person to become an effective leader in an organization. First one is strong communication. Without doubt, we can say that effective communication is a top attribute of strategic leader. You may have a clear vision of what you are trying to accomplish. But if you cannot convey it to your team or colleagues, it will be almost impossible to carry out. So, effective communication is very essential to become a good leader. Then, integrity. They need to, that is, the leader need to honest and always tell the truth in any situation. Then, vision. Effective leaders have exciting ideas. They usually are forward looking and have excellent strategic planning skills. Then, confidence. Effective leaders, dare to take risks to achieve their goals and never give up. Responsiveness. Good leaders value their team, listen to the people they lead, and quickly change their behavior to match different situations. And the last one is determination. Good leaders are passionate about what they do and can motivate people by demonstrating their own commitment. So, these are the certain tips to become an effective strategic leader. Next, we can see already we discussed about different types of strategies. Apart from that, there are two other important strategies, that is blue ocean and red ocean strategy. First of all, we can see what is blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy generally refers to the creation by a company of a new uncontested market space that makes competitors irrelevant and that creates a new consumer value often while decreasing costs. That is blue ocean strategy. It is it is created by a particular market and it is uncontested market space. That means competitors are irrelevant here and create new consumer value also. So, blue ocean strategy is all about minimizing risk due to competition threat and maximizing opportunities by exploring new boundaries. Now we can see what are the characteristics of blue ocean strategy. That is creating future customers, non-existent industries, undefined market space, undefined industry boundaries, unknown competitive rules, high profile and growth opportunity, then value innovation and creativity, create a market, then developing future demand, creating future customers. These are the certain characteristics of blue ocean strategy. Next, we can see what is red ocean strategy. Red ocean is there are every industries today. There is a defined market, defined competitors, and typical way to run a business in any specific industry. Here, competitors are competing each other to gain success. Now we can see what is the difference between red ocean and blue ocean. In the case of red ocean, business is done in the existing market space. Blue ocean, the idea is to create a new uncontested market space. But in the case of red ocean, focus is on beating the competition. And the blue ocean, competition is totally irrelevant. And another character of red ocean is using the existing demand, but in the case of blue ocean strategy, creating the new demand. In the case of red ocean, value cost trade off is important. In the blue ocean, value cost trade off is not so relevant. The last characteristics of red ocean is the whole system of company activities focused on the strategic choice between products differentiation or low cost. The whole system of, in the case of blue ocean, the whole system of company activities aimed at the pursuit of products differentiation and low cost. These are the certain characteristics and difference between red ocean and blue ocean strategy. This is the end of our course, strategic leadership and management. Thank you for your cooperation. And end of the session, you have one quiz and also one assignment also. Your assignment is identify the new strategies adopted by Indian organizations in the internet economy. Okay, thank you.